my channel. I'm glad you're back for another video. This week we're gonna be making cookies. These are gonna be Mexican cookies, as you know. As you know, my channel is mostly Mexican recipes. There are gonna be some different types of other recipes besides Mexican dishes, but it's mostly gonna focus on Mexican dishes just because this is my culture and I want my culture to be spread all over the world. And also, I know a lot of people who like Mexican food, but they don't necessarily know how to prepare it. And out there's a lot of Mexican recipes, but they're in Spanish. And a lot of people don't know Spanish. This is why I'm doing them in English, so other people can learn how to do them as well. Okay, so let's continue with the cookies, and these are gonna be our ingredients for today. 4 cups of corn flour. This is the corn flour that I'm gonna be using. Instant corn masa flour. This would be the flour that you would be using for the tortillas as well, but we're gonna be making them with cookies. Don't buy the flour that says tamales on there. That's a completely different flour. You don't want to use that flour. Make sure you get this one that it says instant corn masa flour. 100% corn flour. 1.5 cups of vegetable shortening. 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. 2 tablespoons of vanilla. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 1 whole egg. To help us maneuver our dough, we're going to be using all-purpose flour. We're not going to add this to our dough. We're just going to use it to help us maneuver it. 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, and for decoration we're going to be using sugar and cinnamon together mixed for the toppings on top. On a big bowl we're going to be adding our vegetable shortening, and you can do this either by hand or with the cookie mixture if you have it. I'm going to be using this hand mixture. As you can see, this is more of a buttery. Than it was. It's more smoother. Next, we're gonna be adding our powdered sugar slowly. We can do it into about 3 little bunches. So after the vegetable shortening and the sugar has been already mixed together, it's gonna look a little bit something like this. It kind of looks like frosting. If you have a stand mixture, you can do all this process within the stand mixture. You don't have to change back and forth. But since I don't have one, I just use my hand mixture to do the shortening. And then after this, I'm gonna be using my hands. Now my hands, I want to make sure they're completely clean. We're going to be adding the baking powder, the vanilla, the corn flour, the egg, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. We're going to mix all this together by hand. Like I said, if you want to use your stand mixture, that would be better. As you can see, it's sticking to my hand, so that means that it needs a little bit more of the flour. We're going to add about 1/2 cup of the corn flour. Okay, my dough mixture is now ready. As you can see, it kind of looks like Play-Doh, like kinetic sand. It holds together, but it doesn't stick to my hand. At this time, you want to start preheating your oven to 375 Fahrenheit. For this next part, you can either use corn flour or your regular all-purpose flour. I'm going to be using corn flour instead of all-purpose flour. We're just going to sprinkle some on the counter. We're going to put our dough ball in the middle. With your rolling pin, you're gonna add flour all over as well. This is gonna prevent the dough from sticking. You can also add flour directly to your dough. You want to have your baking sheet right next to you. Whichever cookie cutter you're going to be using, you want to have it next to you as well. And then we're going to start rolling. You don't want to have your dough too thin. You're going to grab a little bit of flour. You're going to dip your cookie cutter in it. And then we're going to cut. Now we're going to do the same process. We're going to put it back to a ball. Add just a tiny bit of flour to the bottom. Place your dough in the middle. Add a little bit of flour on top. And then roll. You will know your dough is too thin when your cookie doesn't come up with the cookie cutter. And for this last part, you can just roll it into a ball, put a little flour on the bottom, press it down. Like a bottled water or something that has like a design on it, you can just do that. And then this can also be a cookie, so you don't necessarily have to use a cookie cutter. You can just do them into little balls, little circles, and with like a bottle of water, like the end of the bottle of water, or something that has like a little design that you want to use. For example, this one, the cap of the cinnamon, you can just press it down, and it kind of leaves like a little mark on there. That's in case you don't have a cookie cutter. As you can see, I have all my cookies here. Make sure you leave a little space in between all of them. In total, I got 30 cookies. They are about 1 finger of a length. As you can see, you can just place your finger on the bottom, and they are about the same length of how high the cookie should be. We're gonna put these in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. We're gonna keep checking on them because every oven is different. But we're gonna place this. Your oven should already be preheating to 375 Fahrenheit. Okay, so our cookies have been baking now for about 20 minutes. We're gonna check them. As you can see, they're starting to get a little crispy. We're gonna take them out at this time. So with my oven, I have an electric oven. Mine took about 20 minutes, but like I said, every oven is different. So every oven is gonna depend on how long it's gonna take. I have this other batch right here that I still need to put in. As you can see the difference between being it crispy and being it raw. Okay, so all my cookies here are done. As you can see, I did not put any oil on the bottom of the pan sheet, and they are not sticking to the pan. It's gonna depend on you on how crispy you want your cookies. Okay, so after they've been sitting here for about 10 minutes, just cooling off, they're ready for the next step. On a bowl, we're gonna add sugar. The sugar is optional. You don't have to have it in there. And then you're also gonna add cinnamon to it. You wanna have a plate you wanna have a plate next to you and your cookies. You wanna grab your cookies and you're gonna dip them in the sugar. You want your cookies to be a little warm, that way the sugar can stick to the cookie. Okay, so we have all of our cookies here. We're gonna try one. As you can see, they're nice and crispy. And they taste very, very delicious to eat. This video was requested by Casey. She wanted a cookie recipe. My channel is a little bit more on the Mexican side for recipes, so I made a cookie recipe that represents Mexican cookies. This one, which is made with corn flour instead of your traditional all-purpose flour. So thank you, Casey, for requesting this video. Okay, so this is it for today's video. Don't forget to comment down below what other recipe you want me to try next. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Share with your friends if you loved it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to be part of our family. I hope you have a great weekend and we'll see you next week. Bye!